fondant. I've been told it's a pretty quick process, so it's not going to take long for you guys to learn.
It actually only takes 2 simple ingredients. And you buy the ingredients in these measurements because they almost equal each other. I mean, they equal each other out. You use this whole bag, and you use all of this, depending on the moisture, and then you have a cup or half a cup left over. I didn't give recipe cards out because there's really no need for a recipe card. Because you just open the marshmallow, and if you're a stiffer, you can get your tablespoon out. Do that. Just to make it so it'll steam them, soften them, keep them. Now if we're going to do this I'm going to be mixing it in the Bosch. So I'm just going to do 30-second increments. If you're doing it by hand, you want to go 15-second increments just because you don't want to get too hot in your hands. And then when you pull it out the first time, if you do it, you know, you could do it for a minute, but then it would go too far. That's why you do the increments. You know how microwaves work. That's almost there. You can kind of see it's really. It's just when they start getting a little deformed, a little bit puffier. Is when it's ready to go. Just soft enough. But when you start mixing it, it'll melt with the sugar. Put that in there. So we'll start with just a little bit. 1 cup, 2 cups, doesn't matter. With the splasher in place, it's nice. With the Bosch, you can just, with the splashing on the Bosch, you can just start throwing it in, no big deal. It's not going to get all over you. When you're doing it by hand, you need to do, you know, a cup, 2 cups at a time. And what you do is you lay it out, dump it in, fold it in, and just keep folding. It takes a long time. Now, if you were to color it, you would put the color in now. If you were doing one big batch, you're going to do the whole cake in a different color. Wilton is one of the cheaper brands. You get that at Walmart or Ace or anywhere like that. And it, 20, 22, anywhere from $18 to $25 for this exact brand. So, you want to go every different direction to make it round. You'll get, the first few times you do it, you'll get a lot of different shapes. And I've got a lot of air bubbles, so I'm actually going to redo this a little bit. I'm going to do a little more kneading, and that's okay. You'll have that happen. Yeah, I'm moving it every time I go a couple of rollouts. I'm moving it, and the reason for that is because it will stick, and it really is a pain to get off. See now, as you're not kneading it in, you can use as much powdered sugar as you want because it just brushes right off. And that's actually what this is for at the end, to just touch it up just a little bit. Because it won't, if you're not kneading it in, it won't stay. Because I'm pretty sure that gives me my over 8 inches. Now, when you've got an 8-inch cake, and when it's taller especially, you're going to need, see, we're going to have plenty here. I was thinking that it was double stacked, so we're going to be fine. Everybody relax, it's going to be fine. So, the key is putting plenty on there. You can't have too much. Now this is just buttercream icing.
That's why it tastes good.
What?
That's why it tastes good. It's glue stuff.
Yes, the glue. Now, get a bunch on there. And the key is to never go from cake to icing. Always spread it out from the center of the icing. Don't ever touch the cake with your spatula. And it's it's best if you work, I put too much on the side there, but if you work from the center, work your way out. Because as soon as you roll, and I've done it 100 times, you'll do it the first time, unless you're more awesome than me. But I'll go back and forth And if you go back and forth, that's another no-no, because you will go and then pull the crumb up, and then you'll have crumbs visible. So always one motion. Just roll it up backwards. Start a couple inches back, and then as you go.
Anybody else feel nervous for Jason right now? Like, I'm like kind of freaking out for you now.
And then it's really not that bad as long as you just roll it out as you go. You don't pull it, and that's it. Once that's there, you're toast. If it's not right, throw the whole thing away. Give it to the dog. Give it to the dog, because now there's icing in the fondant. It just won't work. And I'm just cutting off excess, and then we can play with this. We can make some snowmen, whatever you guys want to do.
Really nice.
Now I'm just gonna push down slowly as I go around, push in. With the round cake, it's really easy. You know, if you just do it a little bit at a time, there won't be any excess. It'll start sticking, it'll start sucking together just because of the resilience of the fact that it's marshmallow. And so then you mess with it, make it perfect, whatever you want. And then you take and cut it. Now, the cake will settle, and you'll be doing piping there. So in order to make it so that as your cake settles, so your fondant doesn't buckle, because it will, it's stiff enough that as the cake settles, it'll touch the table and then it'll buckle up. You cut it just a bit short. You actually cut it up into the cake a little bit. You can cut it down at an angle so you don't mess up the cake too bad, but you cut it just a little bit high.
Will that bother anybody else when cutting high and thinking that it looks weird?
It bothers me. If you're making something fun like a Mario Brothers cake for your kid or something, you'd use just a little bit of water and make it shiny. Just a teeny bit, and just brush it on there, and it's shiny. There's your fondant cake.